Sorry. So let us start with the new topic. Today we will be discussing about macros. Let me start. Okay. So today we are talking about one of the important topic of pre-processing that we call it as a macros. Anyhow, the concept wise, it is very simple and straightforward. And if you try to do a few programs, then definitely you can able to appreciate what is macros. Macros is one of the most likely in some of the interviews people will ask about macros here. So what is macros? It's a fragment of code which has given a name. Okay, there is fragment means a small piece of code. Okay, for that we are giving the representative name that is called as a macro. Sometimes we call it as a single line abbreviation. Something like that we can call it as for a sum of the statement. So that is also we call it as a macros. So what was the objective is like for example, if you repeatedly using in your code, but I don't want to hard code it actually. So then definitely people are going for the macros actually. Now, usually before compilation, this pre-processing activity will happen and it will replace. Let us try to understand this very clearly and with the example. So as a definition, a macro will be having the definition. We can do the conditional compilation also and some file inclusion also. So this is all related to a macros. So majority of macros, like when you are writing or defining, it should begin with hash actually. May contain extra spaces and tab. And if you want to write a new line characters, so you have to use a slash, this type of things. And it can appear anywhere in a program. Comment may appear on the same line. So that was the expectation of the rule. May contain extra spaces and tabs, that is there. Always end at the first new line character. If you want to continue, we will be using this forward slash. Can appear anywhere in a program, and comments may appear in the same line. So let me go with this. Actually, let me go here, try to understand here. In the macro, let me write a simple program for better understanding. If you look at the simple macro definition, usually how we used to do that? When you say hash is nothing but, okay, when you say hash is nothing but like a studio .h. So if you write like this, it is indicating that it is a preprocessor directive. Preprocessor directive means in the backend world or system world. Let me explain first. First, you write the source code. It is nothing but a C program. Right? Once you write a C program, it may be a high-level language code. Now, our laptop or a machine can understand only 0, 1, right? So in between, so there are when you define like the hash, hash define. So these are all the things happen. This higher level language should be converted finally to the nearly equivalent machine code, right? So an equivalent machine code. Now how it happens is first source code will come, you have written. Then after that, okay, so you will be translating to through compiler concept. Okay, so then you can translate to a nearly assembly language. Okay, from this, I may use assembler and convert it to a mnemonic symbolic code. And from this, it may generate a machine code. So if you translate this, finally, it will be used for execution. Now, the question is here, okay, we have written high-level C code. First, the compiler will ignore what? It will ignore comments actually. Compare will remove the comments which is written for the user. Then it will be input to the compiler. Similar to that, many places we wanted to hardcore. To avoid that, we have a concept of hash. We can take the help of this. This is called preprocessor directives. Using this, we can write, okay, the some sample code which can be repeated, in various parts of statements in code, main code. To avoid this, we come up with there is a concept called macro. So we come up with the concept of macro word. So that's why macro is a single line abbreviation for group of statement. You can say that fragment of code. You can say that, and using that we can able to establish. But this whatever the the value you have passed in the macro before compilation, as a part of a preprocessor, it will be replaced in your source code. Then only it is translated to the compiler. Please understand. That means whenever you use the hash include studio.h as defined, so whenever you use this, it indicate that in your program source code, boss, you should not just try to execute in the compiler. Before that, these files are included in your current code, and then your program length will be increased. And using that, it can be converted to compiler, and then it will be translated to the assembly code, and then it will be stored, generated a machine code, and loader linker will be used for the execution process. So this is the overall understanding of macros. Macros is nothing but it is a single line abbreviation for group of statement. It is a very important topic actually speaking. Okay, majority of people are ignored, but that's why in the interviews people will ask about this. How do you enable debug? How do you? But after this session, if you going through that, you will be having the better understanding about the macros. Now the question is here. Let me start. Okay, let me go here. Rather than theory too much, let me get into the programming for better understanding. Let me go to the chain directly. So let me go here. So okay. So let me write this. In this, I will write, okay, first program, simple macro dot C. So this is a simple macro dot C. This is the first example. Now this program we are going to write, understand macros. Macros means what? It is a single line abbreviation for a fragment of a code, and this will happen before compilation. And to avoid why we are using macros, the indicating that okay, we are setting the set of statements replacement. Now let me go this. Okay, let me write simple program. Hash include, okay, studio.h. So hash define pi 14, something like this I have done. So void main, int main. Okay, just I'm using the some pi value. So value of print the pi value. Float, then data. So now we are trying to understand. Control F9. So let me write hash include conio.h. Okay, so then I will write get ch. Also, I need a clear screen. So control F. So you can see that the pi value is 3.14. So that means this is the constant value which is replaced by before compilation only. It is will be replaced here, and it is after that compilation will happen. So before compilation, comment will be removed, and like whichever you write through #include, that will be added there into the as a pre-processor activity, and this will be defined here. So this is called macro. So this is indicating, okay, this is indicating macros. Now similarly, let me write some more programs so that you can have a better understanding. Okay, let me write this. Now let me write a square root of a simple square root of square of a number, something square of a number using macros. So we will do the square of a number. So how do you do that? As usual, #include, okay, studio.h, #include conio.h. Okay. Now I wanted to write a square, right? So now what I have to do? As a macros, I have to define square. Let me write. If it is a single line function, it is better to write like this. So it is a single line function and square. Something like that. Always the standard is we write a function name, a macro name as a capital letter as a best practice. So let me pass a x value function. So usually I wanted to multiply. Square means x into x. 2 square means 2 into 2 is equal to 4. So that is what we have done. Now let me write void main. Okay, so I wanted to input number, printf, enter the number to be squared, scanf, okay, ampersand number, get ch, and here SCR. So this is a clear state. Now we have done this. Now, if you look at this, we are doing that. Now I will be calling the, instead of function, I see it is a single line function, it is slowly you can replace. So I can write, I can call, okay, square passing. So I can printf the square of %d is %. So that means what I'm trying to do is here, square of a number means if a square of a 5, it will be 25, something like this. Square of 3 is like a 9, something like that. I wanted to do that. So now semicolon missing. Okay, enter the number 5. So we got square of number is, so sorry, I have to give number control F9. So I can see that the square of 5 is 25. So this is how we can do that. What is the advantage? Similarly, if I want to call 10 times, I wanted to use constant value 10 times. Okay. Control insert, shift insert. Okay, similarly, shift insert, control KK. So if you look at this 4, so I got 16 square of x is 16, square of this one is 16. So 3 times it has printed. So what is the advantage we have? So before compilation, actually speaking, okay, what is doing this? Actually speaking, this logic, whatever the statement it is, right? X into x. Actually, this is going to be replaced here only. It means that, so what it is doing is, just let me insert control K. Before compilation, macros, what it is doing is number into this type of, so same. So that means first it will observe for if it is a studio.h is there. It is a preprocessor directory because hash is there. So till now we never discussed about hash. This is a standard line we used to tell. But now we are telling that hash means it is a preprocessor directory. It is telling that boss, this file should identify, load, and replace in this file sim mr dot macro dot c. Then conio dot file also included. Along with that, we have written our own like what is called macro, which is a simple function we have written. All these things will be there. Actually, it looks like we have only 17 lines, but absolutely it may be 150 to 100 lines. And then whatever I have defined, this defined statement it will observe, and just it is go there, and compiler, it's before compilation only, the preprocessor directives expand like this, expand like this. So just for a reader purpose, it looks like that. But when it is compiling, it will be like in this form. And because of that, compilation will happen smoothly and it will be translated into the assembly code and object code. So this is how it is working as a part of macros. So this is how the simple macros are going to work actually. So if you look at this, so this is a simple demonstration to showcase that how macros are working. Now we will see that what are the different ways. Okay, we started with a simple line pi, and we reached to write a square of x. That means simple function we started. So let me go to the next line by line. Assume that we have a multiple lines we wanted to write in the function. How to do that? So we'll see that. Let me save this. Sorry. Okay. So now let me go for if you have multiple lines. Okay. If I have a multiple lines, how to? If you have a multiple lines, how to do this? Now, okay. Now let me write multi-line. Okay, one macro. So what I can do is let me use area of a rectangle. Area of area dot c. So simple program I wanted to write. So area of rectangle. What is my objective? My objective is write the multi-line macro. I have understood what is a macro. I have understood. It is a macro is nothing but a preprocessor directive. Before compilation, it load the file, evaluate and keep for compilation. Compiler is nothing but it is converting our higher level language to the assembly level language. Assembly level language will be translated to the machine level language. Then loader linker will execute, help to execute the code. So that is what we have realized. Now let me go for multi-line macro. So let me compute area of rectangle. So how do you do that? Let me see that. Let me write hash include. This is common. Similarly, I will include dot h. So this standard lines I have added. Now I will define macro. Okay. define macro. So area of rectangle means I believe that you know the formula, length into breadth. So you know that area of rectangle is nothing but length into breadth. That means I have to give the two values. One is length. I will give as a length L. So another one is I will give the breadth. Now, if I want to continue this in next line, as I said, that is a multi-line. So this is how you have to go. So you can see the same color code will be there. So what I am doing is L star. So I am doing the simple. Now, once this is done, now if I want to write void main, so now I have to give the length and breadth, right? Int length, breadth. Okay. Now I have to compute this area. So for this, I have to read the length and breadth. Enter the length and breadth. So I am enter the length and breadth. Now once we are going to enter, I will be doing scanf %d, two values I am reading, ampersand, I am reading this. So once I read this, okay, let me compute the area of rectangle. So how do you compute? So already logic I have written. So let me printf area of rectangle is, okay. So I will be %d giving this. Let me write new line. Let me write in new line. So now what I will do is, so I have to call the macro. What is the macro there? Area. So it is a case sensitive rectangle. So what is the length? I have read GTH and breadth. So this will return what? So this will return to me. So it will compute, then get CH, then I will do this. Let us see this. So what is our objective here? We understood previous program how to write the macro. Now we are understanding that how to write in multiple line. So that is what we have trying to understand. So what is missing here? So there is a one more small bracket is missing. So there is an additional. So length and breadth 4, 5. So area is 20 square meter or something like that. Okay. 4 into 5. So that is 20. So that is the area of rectangle. We can able to compute using this actually. Similarly, if I want to repeat, I can repeat n number of time. And so number of lines will be expanded. Whatever the area of rectangle calculation L into B will be replaced here. So before compilation, that will be executed. So now let me execute Control F9. So 3, 4, 12, 6, 8, 48. So this is how we can compute the area of rectangle by using the multi-line comment. Multi-line comment is nothing but you have to use this / indicating that your macro is not ended in single line. It is a fragment of code that has a multiple lines. So this is how you can able to understand how to do this. Now, similarly, we have we'll try to understand some more the definitions and all. Let me similar to that, we have predefined macros also. That means already they have written macros for us. Just if I wanted to see what are those macros which is written already means, for example, date, time, line, all these things are they have already written. So let us see that few predefined macros. So why macros are important? If you go to any C interview, everyone knows that if in the job interview especially, people are talking about the like pointers and as well as macros. If they believe that okay, if you know macros, that means you have studied everything. That's why some of the companies always go for like what kind of programs. Say macros program they ask you to do, they give the various scenarios. Okay, so that is how they will look into it. So let me go here. So one program, let me want to do that predefined C. So I wanted to go for predefined C program. Just I wanted to understand, just to say that, see that, okay, do we have, rather I would write a macro, do we have something, a system itself or they have written? Yes, it will be there. Let us see those things. What are those? So studio.h, let me write wide main, just to show you. This I am writing. Let me write printf file %s new line file. So always macros will be 2 underscore. Predefined functions. So usually if it's the file itself is double underscore underscore. So usually if you go for F1, it should show it should take to that function file actually. So let me write printf. Let me see this, okay? At least this will give this. Score double underscore date. So file name is predefined. That's the file name. Date is showing is 13 February 2025. So this is how predefined macro they have written. So let me write some more. Let me make clear screen first. That means you should remember there will be a predefined macros also there. Printer. Next, let me take time. Similarly, I have line. Similarly, function, it is a main function. Let me. Here. Store. Open symbol. This function, this is not there. Okay. So now if you see this, so predefined file name is that file name is file, date it has shown, time it has shown, line and C++ copyright 1991. So this like this, they are also defined some of the macros, and if you want, you can make use of it. So that is what you have to understand. Not only you people are working, it is they are also have a written the macros in this kind. So from this you can able to appreciate how macro will be written. Similarly, let us go for some more programs, because macros are very much important. Majority of students they ignore this actually, this topic. But this on this topic, like if someone wants to become a the C developer or writing a drivers or anything, if you want to do at the system side, but they expect macros they should be very strong. If the macros are very strong, it is very easy to learn, but you have to only just you have to focus on that. So let me go ahead. Let me do few more programs. So it would be helpful for you people with respect to understanding some more concept. So let me write one more like a now let me write a understand the writing the logic. Okay, like if I want minimum of 2 numbers, something like that. If I want to do that, can we do that? Yes, we can do that. How do you do that? Let me see that. Minimum of 2 numbers. If the program function length is very, very big, we should not write the macros. Please understand. So we always should go for such functions, which is having the, so at least maximum 3-4 lines of code is there. Better to finish with the macro. Now let me write min.c, something like that. So if you want to do that, now let me write yash include studio.h. So I'm more focused about programming. So if you follow me, you can learn a lot of concepts rather than theory. So please follow coding, and you definitely can. Coding is very simple, but only thing is we have to, once whatever the programs I have done, if you copy the same and type the same, then you can start getting an idea about what is the programming. So let me write a comma b. Okay, so I have written minimum a comma b. So now let me write if a is greater than the conditional ternary operator, let me write a. Okay, let me write what is I do a less than b. Okay, ternary a, otherwise b, something like this. So let me write void main. So int x is equal to, just for testing purpose, I am giving y is equal to 20. Okay, so let me printf. If I want to write minimum is %d. Okay, comma capital MIN. Let me pass this value x comma y. Now get ch. Let me write this. So minimum is 10. So which is minimum? X is 10, y is 20. So using this, we can write small logic and we can execute this. Minimum is 10. So this program is given idea how to do this actually. Now, if I want to write like a three, four test statements, okay, how do you write it? So already I have shown the forward slash. Let us try a simple program swapping two numbers. So usually in the interviews, the most famous logic is people will ask like a swap.c, this type of program. Let me write this. Okay. So swap of two numbers. Swap of two numbers. That means I want A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, but I need B should be 10. So A should be is equal to 20 output, B is equal to 10. Just I want to exchange this. Okay, this is the famous, what we call it as a famous logic, especially for the freshers. In many campus recruitment, people are asking this question, especially for the freshers. So let me write, so hash include audio.h. So I have done hash define swap. Okay, so A comma B type, what kind of variable it is. So I already told if it's a multiple line, I have to use the this forward slash. Okay, so let me write this block continuously. I can write here. Okay, type, that is nothing but int float or something like that. Temp is same logic I am writing, swapping function logic. A is equal to B. So I am taking a temporary variable, assigning the A value to the B. Then I am adding the B value is equal to temp. So I have done this. So this is a multi-line, the macro, and easily we have done it. Now let me go here. So here, let me write printf. For your information, just let me write A is equal to 5, B is equal to 20. Now what is our objective? I wanted to swap the variables. Which function I am passing? A I am passing, B I am passing. Then what is the data type? I am passing int. Let me call this. After this, so before swapping, A is equal to %d, B is equal to %d, new line, A, something like that, it was there. Now after the swapping, printf, after swapping, so A is equal to %d, B is equal to %d, new line, same A and B. So let me clear the screen for previous data. For enter key, it has to wait. So this is I'm adding. So now you can see that A is equal to 5, B is equal to 10, and that can be swapped. A is equal to 20, B is equal to 5. So sometimes they will ask you to write using macros. People will write using what you call it, functions very easily. It is that they will take a temporary variable. A value first they will assign here. Then the like a is equal to B. So here B value they will assign, and whatever they have stored earlier value A, that they will assign back to the B. It is a simple swap logic. Usually, normally, any programmer should know just how to swap the two variable. In the interviews, without using third variable like a temp, you have to do. So all those things are there. But as of now, our objective is to understand how efficiently we can make use of a macro. So that is what we are trying to do that. So with this, I wanted to go to the one more level. Just let us build a simple calculator. So we know that using functions, we have built it. Now, I wanted to build the same using the what we call it as macros. So let me open new file. So let me save as this. What I can do is calculator. Simple cal using macro. So let me write macro calculator. So let me try this. So this will give a how to write a lengthy code using the macros. Hash include. So simple macro calculator. So when you say calculator, it has to perform add, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So we have to do this. Now let me do this. Include stdio.h. Similarly, I can define. Similarly, let me add one more, this one. Hash include conio.h. Now I am defining. So add a comma b. So a plus. So this is a simple calculation. If you pass a plus b, you can pass this. Hash define sub parameter. If you pass a b, it should perform a minus b. Similarly, hash define multiplication a comma b, a star b, hash define div a comma b. So if what we have to write, b number should not be 0. If it's 0, it becomes infinite. Let me write a conditional statement. Then a divided by b. Okay, otherwise 0. Okay, prevent the division 0. Okay, true, we have done. Now let me write int or void, whatever this is, we can do this. Now, if I want to do that, I need to declare the variable int first number or x, y, something like that. I will take it. Printf, enter the two numbers. Enter the two numbers. So this is I have done. Next, scanf %d, ampersand x, ampersand y. So we have done this. Now I wanted to do the calculation. Printf simple calculator. Also, I will give here also. Now, let me give so let me simply formulating. So simply I'm Now, so now I wanted to perform printf addition is, so I have to call that actually. So that is nothing but %d plus %d, something like that. I wanted to show, okay, %d. So here I have to pass x, y, and I have to call add function. So I am, instead of function here, I am calling the math. Similarly, I will do for control insert, shift insert, shift insert, shift insert, control KK. So here, subtraction, fraction. So instead of plus, so I am making minus here. So here, I will make this as a sub. Similarly, this is a subtraction. Similarly, here I will make this as a multiplication. So here, MUL. So here we can talk about division. So here, so let me make this as a star, and this is division, just to show you here. So div. Now once this is done, let me write so we have done this. Okay. Once this is done, let me execute this. Somewhere something is missed. Either here or here. So division is done. Where is this error? Line number 20, function call is missing. Div MUL x comma y. So here. Control F9. So let me enter two numbers. So 4, 8. So you can see that 4 plus 8 is 12. 4 minus 8 is minus 4. 4 into 8 is equal to 32. 4 by 8 is 0.5 because it is not a float. So if you make this as a float, let me make this as a float. Okay. 2, 4, 7. Let me make a clear screen. So let me write two numbers, 4, 8. Y. Memory is full. Four, 8. So here, floating point termination. So it is, so integer. So here this one is there. So we'll discuss later. That is storage classes when we comes. At this moment, we don't want to discuss that. So like this, or control F9. Let me take 8 by 4, something like this. So floating point, what is that error? I don't want to discuss now. When it comes to a storage class, we'll discuss. But at this moment, remember that. So this is how we can do the calculations. Okay. So if you look at this, okay, what it is we have done. So we have written simple calculator instead of writing 4 functions. When this function is having only single line, it is better to use the macros for this. And this will save your what is your time, and also it looks very neat. Okay, so because of that, people may use the simple calculator. Like this, you can do lot of other programs also. So that you can use this program to execute in a single line and simple and short. And only thing you remember, so you have to follow. We keep caps. It is not mandatory, but these are all best practices we should follow. So this is how you can understand. We have understood different types of macros. So now let me go for quickly. Just see the theoretical part. Okay, quickly. I think we have understood what is simple macro and parameterized macro. And we understood what is like a VAS define. This is the syntax, so VAS define. Then we have add mod. This is an identifier name. It may be a function name or it may be variable name that is called identifier. Then what is value to be replaced? So that is what we have understood. And this is how we simple macros can be defined. And we can also define, don't try to put like this. This is what it creates a problem. And parameterization, we have done it like add, mod, delete. So like this mod, even or to upper, all these things you can do that. So advantage of using parameter macro instead of function. Macro replaces expression code physically in the code at the time of pre-processing. Because of that, the execution time will be improved. The speed of execution will be very high compared to your functions. That's why we'll go for the macros. Disadvantage is the compiler code will often be larger. So because the program size will be increased, that was the disadvantage. And it will not check any syntax errors and all those things. Sometimes it is not possible to have a pointers cannot be used in the macro. Pointer is a concept we discussed in the last part of it. So finally, insights, macros saves time. Parameterized macros makes more flexible. We have a predefined macros as well. And macro don't perform type checking like functions. So this is the disadvantage. If you have an error in the macro, you should be able to figure out. It cannot able to tell you where exactly. So that was the major problem in the macro. So that means we have understood today's sessions, macros, which will be useful for to crack the interview. And also it will be helpful for various the shorthand representation in the macros coding actually. So this is the one of the important concept, especially for the freshers. Okay. So thank you very much. If any questions, I am open to that. So any questions? So able to follow at least? Yeah. So with this note, we conclude for this macros. There are 4 or 5 concepts are there in C programming. We will continue, and which are much more important for next topics like a data structure or C++. Okay. Thank you very much for joining. Thanks a lot. So have a nice weekend. See you on
Thank
Monday.
you, sir.
Yeah.